We're going to explain how to convert an APK file, Android Package Kit, to an EXE file, executable for Windows. It's important to understand upfront that a direct conversion isn't possible. APK files are designed for the Android operating system, while EXE files are for Windows. There's no single tool that can magically transform one into the other. What we can do is create a Windows application that allows you to run the Android app within it. This requires using an Android emulator embedded within a Windows application. This is a more complex process than a simple file conversion. Here's a breakdown of what's involved. 1. Choosing an Android emulator. We need a way to run Android apps on Windows. Popular options include Android Studio's built-in emulator or third-party emulators like BlueStacks or Genymotion. The choice depends on your technical skills and preferences. Android Studio is powerful but requires more setup. BlueStacks and Genymotion are user-friendly but might have limitations. 2. Selecting a packaging tool. Once we have an emulator, we need a way to package the emulator and your APK into a single EXE file. This often involves using tools that can create a self-contained Windows application. These tools typically bundle the emulator, the APK, and any necessary libraries into a single executable. Examples of tools that can achieve this, although specific instructions might vary, include Inno Setup, Advanced Installer, or NSS, Nullsoft Scriptable Install System. These tools aren't directly converting the APK, they're creating a wrapper. 3. The process. The general process involves creating a project within your chosen packaging tool. You'll need to add the emulator files. This might involve significant file sizes, and your APK to the project. The tool then packages everything, essentially creating a Windows application that launches the emulator and then runs your APK within it. You'll need to configure the tool to launch the emulator and start your app when the EXE is executed. This often involves writing configuration files or scripts. 4. Understanding limitations. This method is not a true conversion. The resulting EXE is a large file because it includes the entire emulator. The performance will also be affected. Running an Android app within an emulator on Windows is slower than running it natively on an Android device. Furthermore, not all Android apps will work flawlessly in an emulated environment. Some may require specific hardware features unavailable in the emulator. 5. Alternative approaches. For simpler Android apps, you might consider rewriting the app using a cross-platform framework like React Native, Flutter, or Xamarin. These frameworks allow you to create apps that can be compiled for both Android and Windows, resulting in a more efficient and native-feeling Windows EXE. However, this involves significant coding effort. In summary, converting an APK to an EXE isn't a direct file conversion. It's creating a Windows application that houses an Android emulator to run the APK. This method involves using an Android emulator and a packaging tool. Be prepared for a complex process that requires some technical skills. Remember to always respect software licenses and copyrights.